Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session with Cleardocs and BGL Corporate Solutions. I'd like to introduce you to Richard from Cleardocs, who is the Senior Product Manager. How are you, Richard?
Not too bad. And you, Daniel?
Good, thank you. And looking forward to what you have to present today. And also Sharon, who will be part of the webinar. How are you, Sharon?
Good morning, Daniel. I'm good, thanks. And yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And glad that you're here too. And just with today's session, we'll just go through a couple of things, just a little bit of housekeeping before I do a proper intro. But during the session, we're going to go for around about 45 to 50 minutes. During the session, you can ask questions, and Sharon will be answering those questions as we go through the presentation. So that Sharon will be available to answer the questions that come through. I'm very honoured today to be able to introduce you to Cleardocs as a great legal document provider, and they've had a very long history, and we've had a great long relationship with them for a very long time, and they provide a quality product and service. And we know with some of the developments that have taken place in the market, there's a lot of questions being asked around document providers, and we know that Cleardocs provide a great product, which we know that you'll be extremely happy with by bolting onto our BGL products. With today's session, we're going to be going through what is Cleardocs' value proposition and why you can have the confidence and trust in them to be a document provider that you can depend on and rely upon to satisfy the needs of both CAS 360 and Simple Fund 360 and the various documents required to be able to do the compliance work and supporting work for those types of entities. We're going to also go through a little bit about a demonstration on the integration and how the whole thing works. Now, this is going to make up the majority of the presentation, but there's nothing better than actually seeing for yourselves how the Cleardocs positions itself, how its software works, and how you can very easily jump on board and utilize the technology that they have put in place to be able to meet your document requirements and needs. Then Richard will also go through a very special offer for all BGL clients who want to make the leap over to Cleardocs. And I have seen the offer and it's quite exciting. And I think it'll be a really good entry point to be able to get a really good feel and understanding for how the Cleardocs system works, their value proposition, and also why we consider them a quality document provider. So Richard, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you for today, and the platform is yours, and I'm sure that you're going to do a great job presenting to this fantastic audience.
Cool. Thank you very much, Daniel. Okay. All right. Well, we've already done the intros, so we may as well get into it. Now, one thing, this, as Daniel had said, this is not death by PowerPoint. We'll just do a very quick overview of what Cleardocs is and isn't, and we'll also talk about the offer for new clients to Cleardocs. We'll then get into the product, and that's, as Daniel said, most of our time will be spent there. And then Sharon will come on and actually talk about what our clients are saying about Cleardocs, what are some of their challenges within the industry, and then a Q&A at the end. But I do want to say that during the course of me presenting, if you've got any questions, please put them in chat, and Sharon will be answering them. So you don't need to wait for the Q&A. I won't be able to see them, but Sharon will definitely be answering them as we go through. All right, so what is Cleardocs? Well, Cleardocs has been providing high quality, plain language legal documents to the Australian accounting industry since 2002. Why do we think that Cleardocs stands out when there's this vast raft of document providers in Australia? Well, quite a few things. Number one, we've been in the industry, as I said, for quite some time. We're not a fly-by-nighter. We haven't been around for 2 or 3 years. We've been around since 2002, and we've got that level of experience. And we don't just provide documents for a single entity type. We're not just experts on SMSFs or trusts or companies. We've actually got the 3 major groups. We're experts on all 3 of them. And not only do we actually provide the documents and I call them the administrative documents or maintenance documents that you may need moving forwards with some of the entities, but we've actually created a management platform, a platform that helps you decide what document you need, helps you through that process, and then helps you after that process. And especially when we're talking about SMSFs, where we know that the deeds need to be updated every few years, that can be quite a laborious and lengthy process. And we've got workflows and processes in place that actually make those type of jobs super simple and really easy for our clients. The other one's Maddocks. Maddocks is a top 20 law firm in Australia, and they have been providing us with all of our documents for a very, very long time. And the time's an important bit, but what is also important is they actually back the product. They support the product. They don't just handball the document over to us and then we then create the Cleardocs platform. They actually support it, and they support it in regards to our clients as well. So if you have a very technical query, you're more than happy to give Maddocks a call, and they will actually try and help you via phone or via email if you've got a very technical question. Now, I might be a little bit biased here, but our support team, they're pretty awesome. They're located here in Melbourne, like myself, and they're absolute experts when it comes to talking about the platform. And they also have a very strong knowledge of the actual documents themselves. But as I said, if you've got a query that's very particular about a legal clause or something along those lines, they will more than happy get you to introduce you to Maddocks, and Maddocks will actually answer your query. I know I've harped on Maddocks a little bit, but it is one of the things that when I speak to clients, they actually say that is important to them, that they've actually got a top 20 well-known firm backing and supporting the documents, and also being able to gain access to them. So for us, that's absolutely what clients are saying, and where we think that we differ from a lot of our client base, a lot of our competitors. Now, we are excited actually to provide an offer. So anyone who is new to Cleardocs for the month of September, you can have 50% off your company, trust, and SMSF setup documents for the entire month. Obviously, it excludes ASIC fees and printing and binding, etc. ASIC wouldn't go for a 50% decrease. We tried, but we knew that they wouldn't let us do it. So if you're new and you want to actually have a look at and start to create some of these documents, we will be sending you an email after this event, and it's going to include that promotion code that you can actually use for the month of September. All right. So what we'll do now is we'll actually go straight into Cleardocs. So bear with me here whilst we get into it. Okay. So we're in Cleardocs. So this is Cleardocs. There we go. Internet's a bit slow here today. So this is Cleardocs. And as you can see, if I click on the document suites and just leave it at that, you can see here that we've got the three core products, so companies, SMSFs, and trusts, but we've actually also got HR and employment, HR and employment, in estate planning, and also business services. And I'll click on select all, and you'll actually notice here that under the company banner, here are all of the documents that you can do. So a lot of these are all based around the creating of the entity, but then there's also a lot in regards to maintaining. And most of that actually is under the SMSF and the trust entity types. But as I said, we do more than just those three entity types. We provide a myriad of other documents. So if clients or your business clients need an NDA, they need a service agreement, you might need to have creating a partnership, or in the case of creating a will or of a power of attorney. We do a lot of that. Family constitution is also a popular one as well. So we're not just a one-shop pony trick that just does SMSFs. We're the provider that can actually provide you with all the documents that you can actually that you'd require for your practice. Now, what I am going to do is I'm just going to go from here, and I'm going to go into a company registration. And I actually am going to tell you that, again, it is actually one of the first things that clients tell me, because I love speaking with clients and I love getting negative feedback because that's something I can actually work on and improve. But I also get a lot of positive feedback, and especially with Cleardocs. And one of the first things that clients tell me about is ease of use. Ease of use before I buy the product, during the product, and then after the fact as well. Now, I dare say that the people that are online at the moment, you probably know all of your ASIC definitions. You know what a set law is. You know the difference between a discretionary trust and a unit trust. You're the experts, but I dare say, and this is the feedback that we've had from some of the larger clients of ours, is that whilst you might be the buyer of the product, you're probably not the person that's actually going to be doing any of the data entry and actually working through that process. So that can typically be handled by an admin person or maybe a junior accountant. So what we've done right at that beginning stage of I'm going to purchase a document, we're actually providing you with what are some of the product benefits. So this is specifically a company registration, and it's a vanilla company registration, not a trustee for an SMSF or a trust, just a vanilla company. Here are some of the benefits: BGL CAS integration, lodgement, etc. A bit of information about the product. So what are you actually getting? You can drill down into here and it will actually give you this information. And also too, when you're actually going through the document or before, you might actually be asked for definitions. Do you do this or are you that? Do you have an ultimate holding company? And again, these have been constructed as a result of questions that we've had through Maddox, clients contacting them, and also clients contacting our support team. So this, we find our clients find this invaluable before they actually get into creating a product. And that's just part of that initial help and guidance. Now, what we will do, let's go into the bread and butter. This is where, as an accounting user or accounting practice user, you're probably going to spend most of your time in what we call My Documents. If I click on here, you'll actually see that, and I'll filter it now, you'll actually see this is a listing of all of the documents that I have created. So if I click on Company Reg, I've got a whole stack of companies. I've got different statuses. So pending, awaiting ASIC payment, you've obviously got lodged, rejected. Depending on the document type, it could be slightly different. And as you can see here, there's a lot of documents. So if I actually go expand all, expand all, and I start expanding. If you're a heavy user of Cleardocs, or you're potentially a long-time user, this is actually going to get pretty difficult to work out, well, what do I need to do? So we've created a bit of a workflow that's hopefully going to enable you to be able to drill down into the documents that you've got. And let's say you just want to look for pending. So these are the documents that they haven't been completed and they're still waiting for something. So whether it's approval or waiting for information. So clicked on this, there we go. And now if I expand it, it's actually now shrunken my listing and it's actually showing me only my pending transactions. But what I am going to do now is I'm going to be even a little bit more specific. I'm actually going to put one in for Jones, because the next thing I want to do is actually get you to have a look at our discretionary family trust. So I've entered in Jones, and it's highlighted that, oh, I don't have any companies with that. Oh, I do have an SMSF death benefit payment, but this is what I'm after, and I've got the Jones Family Trust. So let's go into that. Now, you can see here that this is a pending document. And the reason why this is pending is that, let's say one of my junior accountants or admin staff have actually prepared the document. And throughout the workflow of creating the document, and you'll see that shortly, there's the ability to actually alert someone, so your office manager or partner, etc., they need to come in, review the document, and then go through that process of completing it. And that's what's happened here. The document's done. I've been assured that it's absolutely perfect. I just need to review it. So, and I don't have to if we're comfortable with the work that's there. The person can just continue on and make that payment. But this is the workflow that we have within, let's say, an average practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on review. And this is now going to bring up the discretionary trust form. You can see here we've got our categories on the left-hand side. We're going to go through all of these, and we're actually going to create a discretionary trust. So all pre-filled out. Jones Family Trust. We've got dates, the usual information. What's the jurisdiction? Who is the settlor? Dollar figure, appointer, etc. And before I even go on, again, one of the things that our clients have said, especially the users, is these call-outs, these information screens. If you don't know what a settlor sum is, that's fine. Click on here and we will actually provide you with the information of these specific topics. As I said, I dare say the majority of you know what all of these mean. But I must admit, when I came back to this, I was like, oh, what's the difference between a settlor and an appointor? And do I have to have an appointor? So these are really, really good information, especially for those that aren't 100% savvy on what the questions mean. And that is some of the feedback that we've had from clients. This just makes that ease of use just so much better. And also too, this form is dynamic. So you can see here at the moment that is an appointer to be named. I've got no. All right. If I decide yes, you'll notice now that it's now asking me how many appointers. So 1, but I can have more. And now I need to fill out all the information. And then we get down to the trustees. So I'm just now going to say no. And I'm back to no appointer. And I've now got 1 trustee. And that trustee is Sally Brown. Excellent. Here's the information. And again, just showing you the dynamics of the form. If I click on company, it now changes and it's now asking me for an ACN, and there's a few questions here down the bottom as well. If we just keep going on, this is actually quite a simple trust. We've only got 1 beneficiary. It's Fred Flair. And here is the details for Fred. Would you like Cleardocs to create an ABN? Not in this case. Would you like to purchase the 12 monthly subscription of Discretionary Family Trust Minutes and Resolutions? I probably dare say you won't, because you're actually using CAS 360 and it's going to cater for that. But if you weren't using it, you could obviously acquire that as well. And if the trust is a Victorian trust, we can, on your behalf, actually pay the State Revenue Office as well. And I can also select, do I want to have my information on the documents? And the answer is yes. And then finally, we're at the end. It's actually asking, would I like to have these printed and bound professionally? And to be honest, we actually do have, I'd say probably about 20%, for 10 to 20% of our client base still want to have a full set of accounts, constitution, etc., all professionally bound. $66, and in a few days' time, it actually gets sent out to you. So that is something that, as I said, the vast majority of our clients don't, but there is a good percentage that do want that. It makes their brand look better, and that's what they've historically done, and that's what they continue to do. So we do provide that. But in this case here, I'm going to say no. What I'm going to do now, we've completed the document, more than happy with it. We're now going to do a save and continue, but it really is a save and validation. So it's going to go through here and hopefully, oh, look at that. I got 5 errors. Okay, perfect example. Let's click on where the errors are because I don't want to go through the whole document again. And okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you remember I showed you before, I had Sally Brown and she was an individual and I changed it to a company. Well, I'm going to change that back to an individual. And there's no more red spots here. So I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'm going to click on Save and Continue. All right, so done as far as Cleardocs is concerned. There are no issues with this document. And what this screen is essentially a review screen. So before the document's created, we've got all of the questions with all of the answers on, and you will just need to review these and make certain these are correct. Now, as I said before, we've got the workflow that if a junior or an admin person was creating the document, then they can, you can actually put their email address in, and sorry, this is to the office manager or the partner, and they'll be sent an email with a link to this trust, and then they can come in and do exactly what I'm doing, is do that final review. All right, so we're happy with this. We'll click on Pay Now. Now I will continue on with this. Obviously, I'm not paying for this because I've got a special account, so I'll use my free document. And the transaction now is complete. And you can see here now that we did only just have this top section of review answers, rename session, but now there's a little bit more information here. And a lot of this is around, well, you've actually done it. It's finally complete. You've paid for the transaction. What do you want to do now? Now, you've got options. You can actually tick, tick, tick all of these and download them and then save them to your C drive, your server, your Dropbox, etc. You can also email it directly to yourself, or what a lot of clients do is they'll exclude the invoice and they'll send that off to the client. And the reason why that they do that is because not only do we provide them with, well, here's the trust deed, here is some ancillary documents, but for most of the bigger documents, we also create an establishment kit. And that's essentially, here's what you need to do next. Here's, you know, you need to sign the trust deed. You need to all to get together on X place at this time, you know, depending on the entity that you're creating. And it's just that guide for the end user. These are the processes I need to take to actually complete the whole signing, etc., of that document. And one thing as well is you can always come back to this area. So I can go back into the Jones Family Trust and I can click on discretionary trusts like what I'm doing now. In fact, I'll open it up in Adobe. And I can download this document whenever I want. We don't charge you extra because you want an additional copy of your trust deed. You know, 6 months, 12 months down the track. You might want to give a copy to the bank. Not a problem. Come into Cleardocs and your deed, just print it out and away you go. Now, you can see here that my deed is in a PDF format. I've done that just for ease of presentation purposes, but I dare say that the vast majority of our clients, they have an option. They can either save it as a PDF or they can actually save it as an RTF, a Word document. And the reason why they like that is, number one, because they can actually customize it a little bit. So if they want to have you know, more branding on you know, the front page, if they want to make some minor tweaks to the document, obviously you can do that in your in the Word RTF document, and you can't really do that easily in the PDF document. That's just a setting, mindset for PDF, because it just makes it easier to present, but you can set everything to an RTF and you can make those adjustments. All right. Okay, so that is a trust document from Woe to Go. Obviously, I didn't enter in all the information, but you can see that review process, the actual acquisition or the purchasing of the document, and then actually getting the documents is a very, very simple and easy process. All right, now, one of the things that I will show you, well, I'll talk about it, but I will actually show you the integration in a minute, is self-managed super funds. So sorry, I will just go back into my documents. Oh, sorry, I'm already there anyway. I'll go into my documents, filter, and I just want to show you how you could actually integrate into Simple Fund 360. I click on Start. So this is creating a brand new superannuation deed. So I'm just going to put in there, Tommy is the client's name. What's the matter? I'll just put Tommy in there as well. And I'm just going to click Start now. And what this is now asking is, hey, would you like to auto-populate the form from BGL Simple Fund 360? I'm not going to go through this one. I'll actually show you the CAS 360 in a minute. But I just wanted to show you how simple it is. In this case, with a super fund, you would have all of your information in Simple Fund 360, and we would then, via our API, securely grab that information and then pre-populate the form. And then all you need to do is fill in those bits that weren't populated, and the form's done. So it's making that process really super simple and really super quick. All right. What I am going to do, though, is we will now go into my documents. We'll ignore that one. And, oh, we won't actually go. We'll go into our QA environment, which is this one here. So this is just a special environment which allows me to lodge, I'm going to call it bogus test companies to ASIC, and we actually do get acceptance that way. And you can see here in this account, I've actually got multiple companies that have completed. So if I click on, well, I click on this one here, Cherry Tree, I created this one this morning. You can see here that it was completed this morning, and I've actually made the payment to ASIC and everything's been approved. But I will actually go into, I will go into the rejected one here, because I've gotten a rejected company from ASIC. So again, this was created a few days ago and it was rejected by ASIC, which I must admit that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did happen, and we know that that does happen. And if I click on here, it actually brings up, well, here is the message from ASIC. And I created the document and I included Kununurra as the state, as the suburb, but I actually said that it was the Northern Territory. And I don't know whether you've been at that neck of the woods in the Kimberleys, but no, it's in Western Australia, not Northern Territory. I forgot to pick it up. The ASIC did, and they've actually rejected it. So you can go into your document, make the change, and then relodge that one. But what I do want to do now is I've got here the Apple group, and we'll click on here. And this is one that has been completed successfully. And you'll notice here that I've now got BGL CAS 360. And this is actually where how the system will actually send that information directly into CAS 360. So you don't need to create the entity in CAS 360. It automatically happens. And let's just see how that goes. So if I go into here, it's now asking me securely for the for me to log in. Now I've already put in my, I think I've already put in my username and password because I did this this morning. Now this is authorizing Cleardocs to send this information directly into your CAS product. It's providing this information. I authorize this. Click, there we go. Yeah. Don't you love it when that happens? That's that one there. I'll do F5. Continue. Don't you like that when you're demoing something and it doesn't actually work? All right. What I will show you then is what actually does happen. So what should happen, so this is in the staging environment and the QA environment for both our products. But what does happen, and I have done this earlier, and I've done this for two companies called Orange Peel and Raspberry Coffee, and I'll actually just scroll down. What actually happens is that the next time that you enter or you go into your CAS 360, you'll notice that the entity is just created. It's just been uploaded. And what we provide is all the information that we can that was included on the ASIC registration. So your name registration, the addresses, so it's got your registered office, your business address, it's got who are your officers, and all the information surrounding them. It's got your shareholders, what type of shares they might have. And if I go to the other one that I've actually prepared as well, which was raspberry coffee, down the bottom, again, gives you exactly the same concept. So again, this was one that we imported. Now, I know this definitely works in production, and it is a super simple process because you're doing most of the work, or you're doing all of the work in Cleardocs. You literally go through that process of logging into the API and then sending that information off to BGL CAS 360. And then the next time you go in, all that data is there. So it's a huge time saver for yourself. And obviously that works a similar process, but kind of reverse, but the same kind of idea with the self-managed super funds is that information gets populated from Simple Fund 360. So that is the process for integrating into CAS 360. What I will do now is I will move on to some of the other features that we've got within Cleardocs. So we're back now into our production account, and we will click on My SMSFs. So we all know that that SMSFs, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's not just creating the entity; it's about maintaining that entity. And I've only got 3 in my database here because I don't specialize in SMSFs within my practice. But we've got the 3 here, and you'll notice that we've got these options, these orders. So I'm just going to click on the Watson Family Trust, and I'm going to go, okay, what do I want to do? Actually, I think the investment strategy is not quite right. We're not meeting our objectives there, and we need to change that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that and select Go. Opens up a new screen, and it's actually now going to create that document. So yes, I want to start this document. Do you want a once-off? Yes, I do. Yes, it was created by Cleardocs. That is the document, that is the entity, so the Watson Family Trust. And I click on Go to Questions. Now you'll notice here that, it's already pre-filled. All the information about the SMSF, the name, who the members are, all of that type of information is already pre-populated. And really the only thing that you have to do is actually fill in your investment strategy. So entering in your percentage changes, your meeting information, and that's it. You can literally go save and continue, and away you go. So this process makes it very, very simple if you've got an SMSF. If you need to update a document, you could do that investment strategy report in probably 1 or 2 minutes. So it makes it super simple. You'll also notice that on these 3 that we've got here, we've got version 21 of 21. And that's obviously because I've created these deeds in the last 12 months. But you can actually see here when I click on that, well, what does that mean? What happens if it actually said I'm version 16 of 21? And we give a listing here of all of the versions that we've done. So it scrolls all the way down. And what's important with this document is we all know that not all of the SMSF updates are a requirement. Some of them are, look, it'd be good to have, but some of them actually you probably should be updating. And that's where you can then make that decision based on 2016. I'm on version 16. There's been 3, 4, 5 updates. Do I really need to update it? And the answer probably is yes in this case, because we've got the introduction of the 1.6 transfer balance cap. And there's a few other things over the years that potentially could be important, and I need to update those documents. So this is a really good way of being able to view where am I today, and where do I need to go when it comes to my SMSF updates. Now, imagine if you've got 2,000 SMSFs, and imagine that they are all, let's call it version 17 or 16, and you need to update them. My Lord, what a job. I know what you're going to be doing for the next 3 or 4 months, but not if you're actually using Cleardocs. We've got a feature here called bulk SMSF updates. And if your deed originally was created by Cleardocs, absolutely no problem. Select on there, select the deeds, and away you go. If your deeds were created by another third party, but you do have that information about the SMSF, and you've got them in Simple Fund 360, or you've got them in class, absolutely no problem. What we can do is you can then import those directly into the bulk SMSF update. And I dare say, if you're not using Simple Fund 360, question why you won't be, but if you're not, then you can actually, we create or we provide a pre-formatted Excel spreadsheet where you can actually enter in, all of your SMSF data in there, and then that will then be imported, and then we just generate bulk SMSF updates. So we try and make that whole process super simple. So rather than spending, probably 2 or 3 months of a whole lot of time to just update those documents, it's done very, very quickly using these features. And that's where I think Cleardocs definitely has an edge on some of the competitors out there. We don't just do companies, we don't just do SMSFs, we do the lot, and we do provide that workflow that just makes life so much easier for you. Now, I've said that help, guidance, ease of use, they're the key things that clients, as well as Maddox, they're the key things that clients tell us they absolutely adore about Cleardocs. But we also do provide additional resources as well. So under the resources tab, if there are any FAQs that you want to look at, pricing, free client letters, we also provide news articles. And these are done either by Thomson Reuters, because obviously we have a lot of authors being part of the Thomson Reuters group, or they're actually created by Maddox themselves. And this is just free, anyone can go into them. They're updated regularly. Here's just an example. I think this was created by Maddox from memory. Yep, it was. And this is the old contractor versus employee debate that we have. But it's obviously quite topical at the moment because of Uber Eats and that type of service that people are providing now. So please go into there. We also have some sample documents as well. So if you want to go in and have a look at some of the documents that we provide, you can actually go into here and have a look. But I'll be brutally honest, go into the product, you're going to get your 50% discount. So, once you've had a look at a bit of a sample, or you just want to go in and create an SMSF company, etc., you can have a look that way as well. And finally, the one thing I did want to touch on, and I think this is kind of important to me, and I think it's definitely important to the industry at the moment. And that's a new product that we have called Immediate Grant Assistance. And we have this document for both business and for not-for-profits. And what is it about? Well, it's about a listing, an up-to-date listing of what grants, rebates, and philanthropic money is around for businesses in Australia. Now, this document is a live document. It gets updated every 2 weeks. And when you actually purchase it, you actually get 6 weeks worth of 6 weeks worth of updates. So there's 3 updates that you get over that period of time. And the reason for that, it's actually quite important because as you'll see in a minute, there are some government grants or local council grants that literally only live, so they open and close within a 1 month to 2 month period. So we do provide you with 6 to 8 weeks worth of updates. So I will go directly into the document now and just show you what it is. The reason, as I said, why I think this is uber important is just purely because of where we are at the moment with COVID. If you look at the eastern states in Australia, there are a lot of SME businesses that are really feeling the pinch. I've got a few friends of mine who've got their own business and yeah, they're really struggling. And I know within the accounting industry, we're all flat chat, but maybe cash flow is not so fantastic, but we are actually flat chat. And I actually see this as probably 2 opportunities that accounting practices have got. Number one, you can actually have a mini advisory revenue stream coming through for creating these grant documents or sending them off to your clients. And there's a potential revenue upside. There would definitely be a revenue upside if you wanted to go that way. But on the other side as well, I think it's also you start to become superheroes to your clients. If you wanted to do this on the cheap, you could just send some of this information out to your client, get them to fill it out. But at the end of the day, you're essentially giving them free money from the government or governments, the various different departments, and you're the superhero for your business clients. What do you get? And I'll just show you this very quickly. So as I said, this gets updated every couple of weeks. Now, we don't prepare this document. There is an expert firm out there called Grant Guru, and we've partnered with them. And we provide this document. It's actually quite heavily discounted for the accounting industry. So we don't do it, but it's on the Cleardocs platform. And as I said, it is heavily discounted for you guys. And every 2 weeks, there's a new update. This is actually 2 weeks old. So one was actually released, or we've just received the fortnightly update. And I will admit, when I first went into here, I'm an accountant by profession, but I started to read this and I was like, oh, what's the difference between a grant and a rebate? Don't stress, all that information is here. And it's even more than that. It actually provides you with information about how should I complete the document. How should I complete the document? It will also include some top 10 tips in regards to completing the document. 4 keys to success. But what I do want to show you here is just the bread and butter. So these are, as at the middle of August, these were the rebates, grants that were on offer at a national level. So this is the federal government. And then we drill down into all the various state regions. So ACT, New South Wales, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll notice too, especially for Victoria, there's a lot of local council rebates and grants on offer as well. And I just want to show you, and this is why I think this just makes accountants superheroes as far as I'm concerned, is let's just have a look at, let's go into New South Wales. And let's have a look at this. New South Wales Small Business Fees and Charges Rebate. So if I click on there, now I've added this yellow highlight. So it's just really to show you what this is about. So this is a rebate that's open. It closes 30th of June, 2022. And what's the funding you can get? You can get up to $1,500. What can you do with it? Well, I get a rebate for $1,500 and I can draw down on that until it becomes zero. Who can apply? Well, any business who is in New South Wales, who has a payroll of less than 1.2 million. You're only allowed to have a $1,500 rebate per ABN. You must be registered for GST and you must have a turnover of over $75,000. What can I do with this $1,500 rebate? Well, in this case here, The rebate covers New South Wales government charges and fees and local council rates and charges related to the cost of doing business. Personally, if someone could pay my rates or pay a portion of my rates or my fees and expenses, I'd be more than happy for them to send me this information. What doesn't it cover? And that's important as well. It doesn't cover fines, penalties, rent on government premises, things like that. I'll give you another example as well. It's slide 200, and this is at a local council. And this one here is actually quite interesting because it really is open for 5 weeks. So the Brimbank Council, City Council in Victoria, they've got a grants program that started on the 10th of August and is closing on the 15th of September. So very, very short period. And I'm going to concentrate here. It's actually aimed at startups and small business grants. And I'm just going to pick on the startup or the micro business. What's the requirement? Well, the requirement is that it must be a new business up to 12 months old, and it must operate within that Brimbank local council. And they can have grants of up to $2,000. Who can apply? Well, they need to be small, they need to be less than 12 months old, they need to have an annual turnover of less than 10 mil, they must have an ABN, they must be within the Brimbank council area. What can they do with it? Well, they can actually spend that on their startup costs, including their fees, registration, and any equipment they've purchased. So again, as you can see, just by going through this document, I think you should be able to find several rebates that could fit with a lot of your SME clients. I think this is valuable. It's kind of close to home with me because I've got a friend who's a bit struggling, and yeah, they find that this type of information is absolutely useful to them. All right, so that was me with the demonstration. So I will go back now quickly to our PowerPoint presentation, and I'll introduce you to Sharon, and she'll talk about our clients, what they're saying. Oh, I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear Sharon? Daniel, sorry.
No, I can't hear Sharon, no.
Oh.
No.
All right, try it again. No, something's gone astray. All right, so I think so Sharon was going to go through with this, but obviously there's some technical hitches there. So I'll just quickly go through. Here. I won't do it justice as Sharon would. But look, our clients, when I speak to the clients, more than not, as I said, it's ease of use and it's about the Maddox area. But for some clients, there are other things that are actually quite important as well. There are businesses out there that are using one provider for companies, another provider for SMSFs, another provider for trusts. And there seems to be these firms now that are actually going, do you know what? I don't want to have 2, 3, 4 providers. I actually want to have the one provider that's actually going to provide me with all of the documents that I need, and it's that one central place. It's that one central place. And also too, if you've got documents from one company provider, one SMSF provider, one trust provider, are you really certain you're getting the quality of that document? So you might have your company provider who, let's say you're using Cleardocs, you've got Maddox backing that document, you absolutely have faith in the legality of that document. But do you actually have that level of confidence with some of the other providers that are out there? And also too, as I mentioned, by having your one single document provider there, and with some of the features that we have with Cleardocs, is you can actually, one platform, one management tool, the user can actually see all of the documents that they've actually created. So what are their priorities? Trust. We want to have trust in the product. We want to have trust in the quality of the documents that are provided. We want to have we want to have a one-stop shop. We don't want to have these multiple suppliers out there. So therefore, coverage is important to us, and also collaboration as well. So we want to be able to hook into those third parties that we use within our practice. And we've also got specialist firms as well. So, and this is probably predominantly in either it's actually in all three, the companies, trusts, and the SMSFs. But we do see that there are a lot of specialty firms out there in regards to the creation of SMSFs. And what's important for them, again, it comes back to they want to have a document that's supported. They want to ensure that that document is going to be updated if something can happen. If they've got multiple offices, they don't want to have one office using a different third party versus, let's say, Cleardocs. So again, it's that one provider for a firm. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that if you are what we call an enterprise user, so you've got 50 plus documents per annum, give us a call, because we definitely have some enterprise packages there, which will give you a cheaper rate on documents that you can provide. And typically these type of firms, they are cost conscious, as most of us are, but they're definitely ticking those boxes on that number. So again, with them, trust, having confidence that the document's going to meet their current needs and future needs moving forwards. Efficiency. So as you saw with the SMSF 360 integration, you put the data into one product and it automatically will populate into the Cleardocs SMSF deed creation, and vice versa. I'm creating the company in Cleardocs. I press a button and hopefully it works. And then suddenly, voila, there is that company within CAS 360. So it's that efficiency and reducing costs to actually get everything working in your practice. I think that's probably about it, actually. So I think we'll, thank you, Sharon. I think you would have done a better job.
We would be definitely starting our candidates during lockdown.
Yep. So look, I think Sharon and Steve have actually, during the session, have answered any questions or not, but just wondering if there are any other questions that might
there you go. So you know a little bit about who we are.
I was just going to say, Richard, there's a number of them there. It may be worth cutting and pasting maybe the whole thread, and just getting back to the individual people, as there's quite a few questions which are really good insofar as there seems to be lots of interest and great questions that have come through, which is fantastic. So well done.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, we're more than happy. So between Steve, Sharon, and myself, we'll look at these questions and we'll email you the answers.
Okay, well,
exactly.
Thank you everybody for joining us today. On behalf of BGL, Richard and Sharon, and also Stephen, I know that you've been there in the background. Thank you so much for today, and thank you for showing the integration and for showing how just efficient the whole process can be. And it's fantastic the way that we are able to integrate and provide a really strong value proposition to our mutual users. So thank you so much. And you got the contact details there. If anybody wants to get in touch with either Richard, Sharon, or Stephen, just please do reach out on the details there, and they will be more than happy to help you out. So on behalf of BGL, once again, thank you. We will have a recording of the session. We will make it available, and we will email the participants of the details of the recording and where they can get access to it from.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
No, that's fine.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks so much for taking my
Sharon, if you'd like to grab the questions off there, I'm not sure if you've got them all. That would be really good. Or
Yep. We're not presenting anymore.
no.
Yeah, I'm just. Oh, sorry, I was just cutting and pasting them all.
No, it's okay. We'll end the presentation at the once I concluded. So it's still recording, but we'll fix that up.
Yep. All right, excellent. Still can't hear you.
You got to love technology.
Yep. It was working just before. Oh no, that's cool. All good.
Okay, so have you got all the questions there?
Steve?
I've got the ones from the Q&A. Let me just check that because I think they were coming in through a few different places. So I just want to make sure I've got all of them. Bear with me 1 second. Just go back to full screen. I've just got to check in the chat as well because they were sending them through a few different places.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions around companies. So there's still a couple of people on there that said, they'd like to ask questions. So if you'd like to take those, we can still hang around another 5 minutes. It's up to you.
Yeah. Allows custom branding. So I've got one here from Robin. Cleardocs allows custom branding. Is this done once or does this do you add the branding each order? You would save the document as an RTF and then that would allow you to add in your branding. I'm probably going to suggest that yes, it is needing to be done every time you create the document, but I dare say there might be I forget what you call it now, but there might be a way that can be automated. But yeah, without that automation, yes, it would be you're adding in your logo, etc., all at the time. I think Stephen's answering that one. What if wanted to use TR software and Cleardocs? More than happy for you to use TR software and Cleardocs. Don't really know what that question's about, so I'll leave that one. Hi, Steve. Who remits through Cleardocs? Cleardocs or the client? So
I've already answered that one in the chat as well. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Are there any other outstanding ones?
If you could just also maybe show just quickly in the My SMSF where the version control is for the SMSF trustees.
Yes, I'll go into. Oops, sorry. Go back in to the little one. There we go. Okay, so it was under your My Documents. You've got My SMSFs. And you can see here, I've only got the 3, but what you can do is you can actually click on here, and then that's going to bring up your the information about the deed. So it tells you for this deed for Maria Sims, I'm on version 21 of 21. And then it actually goes through, here is all of your all the different versions. I'm assuming that's answering that one.
Yeah, and what I'll do, Richard, also, because there was a few questions around just with the integration, we'll include those in a follow-up email that BGL will send out, just to make it a bit easier for everyone. I think there's a few overlapping questions all around the integration that we could answer in a follow-up email.
Yep. Cool. I wasn't sharing then, was I?
It's all right. I'll send some screenshots as well of just where that's located in the follow-up email.
Yep. Okay. Is there anything else the clients would like to go through? I'll just share my screen this time. So that's where the versioning comes in, so you can see that. Anything else, Steve? Or is that a wrap? Okay. Silence is golden. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. I'll end the session, okay?
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Hi, Ken. Good
Bye-bye.
afternoon. My name
Bye.
is Nadine. I'm calling